You walk through the door at 6:30 on a Tuesday, carrying takeout from that taco place she likes, humming something you heard on the drive home, thinking about absolutely nothing important. The apartment is quiet, not peaceful quiet, the other kind. She's sitting on the couch, arms crossed, legs crossed. Everything about her body language is crossed, including apparently the line you didn't know you were approaching. She's wearing the dress, the good one, the one that doesn't come out for regular Tuesdays. Her makeup is done, hair curled, and she's staring at you with an expression that exists somewhere between a telenovela pause and a prosecuting attorney who already knows you're guilty. You freeze in the doorway, still holding the takeout bag. She asks in Spanish, slow and deliberate, "Do you know what day it is?" Your brain does that thing where it frantically searches through filing cabinets while pretending everything is fine. Tuesday. It's Tuesday. You say that out loud. Tuesday? Wrong answer. You know it's wrong because her eyebrows do something that defies physics. She repeats the question, but this time each word has its own zip code. What day is today? You're scrolling through your phone now, checking the calendar app like it's going to save your life, which it absolutely will not. Your mouth is making sounds. Is it someone's birthday? Did we have dinner plans? Wait, is your mom visiting? Each guess makes it worse. You can actually watch her disappointment accumulate in real time like a meter filling up in a video game, except the game is your relationship, and you're losing. Then you see it. The little heart emoji you put on this date 3 months ago when you were being thoughtful and responsible and absolutely convinced you'd remember. 3 years. Today marks 3 years. The takeout bag suddenly weighs 400 pounds. You try immediate damage control because that's what people do when they're drowning. Baby, wait. I can explain. Work has been insane. It completely slipped my mind. But we can still celebrate. Let me take you somewhere right now, anywhere you want. She stands up. This is when you learn that someone can move in slow motion and still generate the emotional impact of a freight train. She's not yelling yet. Somehow that's worse. When she finally speaks, it comes out in this combination of English and Spanish that you've learned, means the situation has elevated to code red. She had plans. Reservations at that restaurant downtown that requires booking 6 weeks in advance. She got dressed up. She's been dropping hints all week. Apparently very obvious hints that you missed because you were too busy existing in your own world where anniversaries remind you themselves. And this isn't even about the anniversary anymore. It's about what forgetting says, about priorities, about paying attention, about whether you actually see her or just assume she'll always be there. Her father, she tells you, has never forgotten her mother's anniversary in 32 years. Not once. Not even the year he had surgery. Your ex, and she knows bringing up your ex is a tactical nuclear option, but she's deploying it anyway. At least set phone reminders. You try to interject. You have things to say. Explanations. Justifications. She raises one hand. No, déjame terminar. Let me finish. So you stand there while she finishes. And she does finish. Thoroughly. With hand gestures that could direct air traffic in a cadence that builds like a symphony reaching its climax. She references how excited she was this morning, how she told her sister yesterday that she couldn't wait for tonight, how she defended you last month when her mom made that comment about you being distracted lately. Every sentence is a fact you can't argue with because they're all true. The monologue ends with her grabbing her purse and her overnight bag, which you're just now noticing was already packed and sitting by the door. She's going to her mother's house. She'll decide when she's ready to talk, not if, when. And that timeline is not going to be influenced by anything you say in the next 30 seconds, so don't bother. The door closes with a very controlled, very deliberate quietness that's somehow louder than slamming. You're standing in the entryway holding takeout that's getting cold, looking at an empty apartment that suddenly feels like a crime scene where you're both the detective and the suspect. Your phone buzzes. It's your friend Marcus asking if you want to grab drinks Thursday. You text back asking if he's free right now because you need advice. He responds immediately. What did you do? You tell him. There's a long pause. Then, bro, you're dead. There's nothing you can do. Just accept it. That's not helpful. You need a strategy. You need an ally. You need someone who can maybe, possibly, smooth this over. You call her mother. This is either going to save you or make everything exponentially worse, and you're about to find out which. The phone rings 4 times. You're already regretting this decision by ring 2. Her mother picks up. Hola, mijo. The temperature in that greeting could freeze salt water. She already knows. Of course she knows. Your girlfriend called her the second she got in the car, probably before she even left the driveway. Señora Martinez, I can explain. Explain what? That you forgot the most important day? That my daughter got dressed, made plans, was excited all week, and you couldn't even remember? Her disappointment hits different than anger. Anger you could defend against. Disappointment just sits there like a wet blanket made of guilt. She continues, when you started dating her, I told my husband this one is different. This one pays attention. He brings her favorite coffee without being asked. He remembers she doesn't like cilantro. But today, silence. The kind that requires a response. I messed up. I know I did. I just need advice on how to fix this. Mijo, you can't fix this with flowers from the gas station. You can't fix this with sorry. She's here now. She's upset. Not angry, upset. You understand the difference? You do. Angry passes. Upset lives in the bones. What do I do? You figure that out yourself. That's what a man does. He thinks about what matters to his woman and he shows her he knows. Not because someone told him, because he pays attention. She hangs up. You're now 0 for 2 on the advice front and somehow in deeper trouble than when you started because now her mother is disappointed in you, which in the hierarchy of Latin American family dynamics ranks somewhere between betraying your country and forgetting to call your grandmother on her birthday. You try her sister next. Surely Carmen will help. You've always gotten along. She answers on the first ring. She told me you'd call. That's not promising. Carmen, come on, you gotta help me out here. She laughs. Not a friendly laugh, a knowing laugh. Help you? You want me to help you after you made my sister cry? Do you know how long she talked about this dinner? 3 weeks. She showed me her dress over FaceTime. Twice. I didn't mean to forget. Work has been crazy, and I just lost track of the days. That's the problem, though. You lost track. Of her. Of what's important. She doesn't want you to remember because you set a phone reminder. She wants you to remember because you care enough to keep it in your head where the things that matter live. You're getting a master class in relationship philosophy from multiple generations of Martinez women, and the thesis is consistent. You're the problem. So what do I do? Something special, right? Something that shows I get it. Figure it out. That's literally the whole point. She wants to know you can think about what she needs without someone drawing you a map every single time. The line goes quiet for a second. Look, I love you. You're my brother now. But you hurt her, so you need to do better, not just tonight. Always. She hangs up. Your phone buzzes with a text from her cousin Miguel, who somehow already knows. Heard you forgot. Primo, you're cooked. Then one from her aunt. Muy disappointed, mijo. Then another from someone you think is her grandmother. But the message is entirely in Spanish, and Google Translate is giving you something about flowers and stupidity and fixing yourself. The family network has been activated. You're not just in trouble with one person. You've disappointed an entire extended family tree that apparently has a group chat and uses it to coordinate judgment. This is what you signed up for when you started dating someone whose family operates as a collective unit. One person's problem is everyone's problem. One person's disappointment is distributed across the entire system like emotional socialism. You sit on the couch eating cold takeout because somehow eating it feels worse than throwing it away. The apartment is too quiet. You check her Instagram. She's posted a story. It's a photo of her and her mom with the caption, "The real ones show up," with a heart emoji. You're not tagged, you're not mentioned, you're simply absent from the narrative. That might be the worst part. Not anger, not a subtweet, just the complete removal of your existence from her evening. The story has 53 views already and 12 replies that you can't see but can imagine. You open your calendar and stare at today's date like it personally betrayed you. No reminder, no alert. Just a regular Tuesday in October that was supposed to be something else. You start Googling how to apologize for forgetting anniversary, and every result feels simultaneously too generic and too specific. Buy flowers, write a letter, grand gesture, recreate your first date. None of it addresses the actual problem. She doesn't want a performance. She wants evidence that you were thinking about her when you didn't have to, that you marked this day in your mind as significant Bess, because she's significant. You can't fake that retroactively with roses and a speech. This isn't something you fix tonight. It's something you fix by being different tomorrow and the day after and every day until she believes the pattern has changed. That's the real work, not the apology, the proof. You're sitting in an empty apartment learning that some mistakes don't get fixed with one conversation or one gesture. They get fixed by becoming someone who doesn't make them anymore. Tomorrow, you'll try again. You'll probably mess up the apology at least twice. But eventually you'll figure out that the real anniversary gift isn't flowers or dinner. It's remembering without being reminded that someone matters enough to keep track of.